One of the reading strategies commonly used by language learners is using the dictionary. Whether on a computer or another device like your cell phone or tablet, you've likely used the dictionary to improve your comprehension of the text that you read. In this video, I'm going to introduce a tool you can use when reading, WordandPhrase.info. For now, this tool is only available online and is best accessed with a laptop. Word and Phrase is a powerful combination of dictionary, thesaurus, collocations dictionary, and concordancer. This means that you will be able to find definitions, synonyms, collocations, and examples of the word in context. You will also be able to find out a little bit about how frequently the word occurs in different genres. It is relatively straightforward to use, but a brief tutorial will be useful because there is a lot going on in the interface. You can access Word and Phrase by typing www.wordandphrase.info into your browser. On the landing page, you will see the creator's name, Mark Davies, the university that hosts the site, BYU, and the corpus that is used, COCA, or the Corpus of Contemporary American English. A corpus is a large collection of texts that can be searched and analyzed. COCA contains 560 million words and includes academic texts, fiction, news, spoken language, and popular magazines. However, it is important to note that the default setting for Word and Phrase is to display results from 120 million words of academic texts. You will also see two options. The first is frequency list and the second is input text. We will click on input text because this is the option that will provide us the most useful information for our purposes. One of the great things about this tool is that you can enter an entire paragraph, passage, or article into the search box and explore the words and phrases of the text without having to go back and forth between your text and the search box. Let's see how this works. This is an article my students read in a course last quarter. It is a journal article and contains a lot of academic and professional vocabulary that might be unfamiliar or challenging. Instead of copying the entire article and entering that, let's just copy the abstract and then go ahead and paste it into the search box and click Search. What you see is that Word and Phrase has processed the text you entered, in this case the abstract for the article, and provided you with some information about the vocabulary in the text and a clickable version. At the top you will see a chart with different frequency ranges and the percentage of words from the text that fall into each of those categories. Basically, this chart is showing you what percentage of the words in the text are high frequency, mid frequency, and lower frequency. For example, in this text you will see that 44% are high frequency words, or one of the 500 most frequently used words in COCA, and 30 are lower frequency, not in the top 3,000 words. To see a list of these words broken down into their frequency ranges, click See Lists. Now that we have a general sense of the vocabulary in our text, let's explore. We can begin wherever we would like by clicking on the word. You will notice that the words are color-coded based on their frequency, so we may want to begin with the yellow words, but not necessarily. Let's say, for example, that we wanted to better understand the first sentence by exploring the word emerged. When we click on the word, you will see a lot of information come up. Let's take a look at what we have. First, you can see the part of speech here is green. If the word could be used as multiple parts of speech, we would see each here and be able to select them. For example, in this text we see the word practices a few lines down. If we click on practices, we will see that we have the option of exploring the word as a noun or a verb. But for now, let's go back to emerged. In the main frame, we will see four different things: frequency information, definitions, collocations, and concordance lines. In the main frame, the chart at the top provides information about how frequently emerge and its other verb forms occur in different genres. For example, emerge is less common in spoken language and more common in academic texts. Next to that, you will see definitions. Keep in mind that these definitions are not written for language learners, so they may be challenging at times. However, it is nice that they are provided here along with the other information we might be interested in. Below the definitions, you will see collocates. Collocates are words that frequently occur next to or close to a particular word, in this case, emerge. For example, it is common to read, a pattern emerged, or a theme emerged. These collocates are organized by part of speech. You will see here that there are a lot of noun collocates, and then the other parts of speech are combined into a miscellaneous category, or other category. Below the collocates list are the concordance lines. In these lines, you see examples of emerge in context. You also will see that the parts of speech are highlighted. So here, you see emerged and other verbs are in this pink-purple color, prepositions are in yellow, and nouns are in this turquoise-blue color. In the frame on the left side of the screen, you will see synonyms. One of the cool things about the synonyms frame is that you can see synonyms organized by meaning. Emerge has multiple meanings: arise, come out, come to light. And you can see the categorized synonyms and the order of frequency. So the lower the number, the higher the frequency. Okay, so now that we have the basic idea of what is in the interface, let me introduce a few more things you can do with word and phrase. First, we can limit our search by clicking on the frequency chart. When we do, it produces concordance lines from that genre. So if we were interested in looking at how the word emerge is used in academic texts, we could click here. Then, down in the concordance lines, we see ACAD in the genre column, meaning that all of these are coming from academic texts, mostly scholarly journals. If we hover our cursor over the genre label, we can see the abbreviated journal title. This gives us some idea of what academic discipline the example comes from. Here we see Teach Library, so this is likely an education journal. Here we see Social Research, and here Bioscience. We can also sort the concordance lines by collocate. Actually, we can do this two ways. One is by clicking the collocate we are interested in here, which produces concordance lines with that collocate. So if we click pattern, a pattern emerges, patterns might emerge, etc. If we click go back, we can also see how to sort based on a collocate by clicking directly in the concordance line. Let's say we are reading the concordance line and are interested in more examples of emerge with the word begin. We can click on begin, and word and phrase sorts the lines with examples of begin on the left and the right. By clicking go back, we can get back to our results. Over here in the synonyms frames, we also have the option of exploring the results. By clicking on one of the synonyms, we can see full results for the synonyms, including frequencies, definitions, collocates, synonyms, and concordance lines. We can also see synonyms based on whether they are more specific or more general. And we can also see these organized under their meanings. Now, I know that I have already introduced quite a bit, but I'm going to introduce one last feature of word and phrase that is quite useful. Let's go back up to our original text. Sometimes we are interested in a particular phrase and not just an individual word. Word and phrase allows you to explore synonymous phrases as well. Let's look at an example. Let's say that we are interested in phrases related to or similar to theory and practice. All we need to do is click the phrase over here by the search box, and then click each word of the phrase. You'll notice they fill in the boxes automatically. And then click theory, and then synonyms, and practice, and synonyms. Then click search. In the synonyms frame on the left, you will see that we now have a frequency chart of the phrase in different genres and a list of related or similar phrases. And as always, we can click on the result and see concordance lines. Instead of clicking synonyms in our search, we could also select each word and click All Forms. This produces a frequency list of all the words in the phrase in all possible word forms. So here we see theory and practice, theories and practices, theories and practice, and theory and practices. Let's try one more example. What about popular appeal? Click Clear to reset the boxes, and then select Popular and Synonyms and Appeal and Synonyms. Here again, we see a list of phrases that we can click on to explore concordance lines. Also, I want to point out that we have genre frequency numbers here, so we can see which of these phrases commonly occurs in academic writing, for example. In this case, most of the synonyms occurred most frequently in academic texts. However, a couple, current draw, general charm, these were more common in popular magazines. Useful information for us as we make choices for various writing tasks. Alright, so now that I have shown you the basic features of word and phrase, you might say, well, I can see how this would be helpful in writing, but you said this would help us as we read. Well, you're right to think that this can be a very useful writing tool, and I will look more at how to use it in writing in another video. But I encourage you to use this as you read, because the more context you can add, or the more connections you can make with a word, the stronger your knowledge of that word will be. You will also likely use the word or phrase more often if you have gathered relevant and contextualized information about the word or phrase before reading, while reading, or after reading. Before reading an article, you could use it to explore the abstract or introduction to make sure you are familiar with some key vocabulary. While reading, you could use it instead of a dictionary for quick checks of meaning. And you could use it after reading to dig deeply into what you read as you prepare to talk or write about what you read. Alright, so I hope you have found this video useful, and I look forward to hearing about how you use word and phrase, what successes you find, and what challenges you encounter. Please let me know. Happy exploring!